It says, Baras Yitzhahara, Baras Teritavla. We created the Yitzhahara. The Torah is the antidote to fight the Yitzhahara. What if you don't learn? Sagt Baruch Mechidish that a machziki Torah, someone who supports Torah, has the same antidote. That's what he told me. So when Malkiel and Baruch were sitting there, I told Malkiel, I got to give a lot more tzedakah.
None of your business, Oshi. None of your business, Michael.
It's the None of Your Business podcast, hosted by Michael and Oshi.
Welcome back, everybody, to another incredible episode of the None of Your Business podcast. I'm your host, Michael Greenfield, and with me today is a special co-host, Reb Yissi Cherns.
How are you?
Reb Yissi, what episode was it that you were on our podcast? Do you remember?
It's none of your business. I think it was like the third or fourth.
The third or fourth, and could you tell the difference?
Well, right away when I walked in, I see it's on the opposite side of the room.
Yeah.
So everything was switched over. And now it's like chairs. This is the way a podcast is supposed to be. I feel like I need a do-over.
You know what? This could be your semi-do-over. And today we have with us, you know, Ushi likes to say this word, and I'm going to use it, the venerable, the incredible, the quality human being of a person, Reb Shimi J. And I say Reb because I've learned so much from you, and I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome, Shimi.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. By the way, my last name is Jacobovits for people that don't know, but J is short because Jacobovits is like very mouthfully.
Is there another last name that you think anyone would have thought it was? I mean, I think like everyone knows it's not just Del.
Jacobson.
Jacobson.
Could have been Jacobson.
Okay, good one.
There's a singer, Mendy J, and he's Jacobson. So
Is he?
Yeah.
I always thought he was Jacobowitz.
There you go. That's because Shimi already took J as the name. It's like Stam J means Shimi J. Everybody knows that.
A big shout out to all of our followers, and thank God. I say this to Ushi every week in the past 3-4 weeks that we've been growing, and it's kind of astonishing to see. Like, you know, growth in social media world means just numbers, but to us it means people talking about it and just seeing us on the streets and saying what a beautiful guest you had and what a great story you had and what an impact it had in my life. And I just heard your first podcast. Oh my God, that's you. And it's been incredible. So that's why I picked that word for today. And thank you to Prime Source. Again, our sponsors. I mentioned it earlier before we officially started, but I want to mention it again. Thank you to the team of Prime Source production team, Stefan, Will. Stefan, by the way, is not just the man behind the scenes. He's literally the guy running the show. So he'll have ChatGPT up in a minute. Shimi, if you have any questions for him on the screen.
Where's the screen? Oh, over there.
Yeah. I mean, we took a page or two from other podcasters, learning what to do, what not to do. Let's get started, if you don't mind. You know, I appreciate you being here so much on a Motzei Shabbos, but I first want to say, what are you so busy with that it's got to be like, you know, of a Sabanim time? Like, you know, what's going on?
Normally on a regular weekend,
Yeah.
on a Motzei Shabbos, or during the week. Why was I so busy Thursday?
First, I want to know tonight what happened. Like, what's
Tonight?
No. Tonight you got
worked.
freed.
Yeah,
You
I
got
was
freed.
free,
What's
yeah.
on a normal Motzei Shabbos is what I'm asking you.
Normal Motzei Shabbos, I'm usually at home. I like going to spend time at home with the family,
Wow.
the kids to sleep, and get an early night, because people don't realize that your whole week depends on your weekend. If your weekend is restful, you have a restful week. People have this thing, Saturday night, you go out, I'm going to, have a good time, meet with friends, It's, for me, I like to get an early night. And then have a good Sunday, and then the week is really good.
I got to be honest with you. It's more meaningful for me now that you're here. I'm sorry. I thought I thought you were doing kumsitzes and parties and fundraisers and
Thursday
you're hanging out with her.
Thursday night is my Motzei Shabbos.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Thursday nights are the Motzei Shabbos.
Okay, it's good to know. So I really appreciate it. Of course, I want to hear about everything you're busy with in general. But before we do, for our audience, we have this thing we do called ChatGPT said, what about you?
Oh, boy.
So did you ever do it on yourself? Be honest.
I have Googled it, not ChatGPT.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm getting ready to start. And
Starting to sweat.
Stefan just printed this out for me 2 minutes ago.
Okay.
So it's fresh, hot off the press, literally. Shimi J just doesn't do chesed. He accidentally sponsors a CM every time he checks his phone.
You're joking.
No.
ChatGPT said that, or you just wrote that?
I might be telling ChatGPT what to say, but
Oh, boy.
I mean, what's that about? What's going on there? Are you sponsoring CMs? Are you a CM guy?
So it happens to be that, this is funny. A bunch of years ago, I started getting these calls, spam calls, from Boardroom and Eretz Yisrael asking me to sponsor the CMs. And it was like I think they got a list of a lot of guys who give tzedakah, and they would call and ask to sponsor a CM. And I got down to the bottom of it. I was doing a whole investigation who this person was. Finally got his name, and I got him to agree to come to Lakewood. He actually lived in Lakewood. He came home for Bein Hazmanim, and I said, if you tell me who you are, I will actually sponsor the CM. and we went, and it actually was a beautiful scene. We got Yehuda Green, we got delicious, I think, glabite. We had like 100 Bachrim singing and dancing,
Wow.
and it was an amazing experience. So that's how it started. I think it was the last one I did because then I got every Bachar was decided.
Clearly not.
Why?
It says that this is what you do.
I did it once.
Okay.
You know, I'm assuming that was the beginning of it.
That was the beginning. But no, but I think when it comes to the Bachrim, it's a very unique way to deal with Bachrim nowadays. I think us growing up, like we were not even a afterthought. Like the Balbatim, like didn't even look at the Bachrim. I think the Bachrim nowadays need a lot more attention. And I think, yes, and I'm sure yourself and me for sure, I like to give a lot of special time to the Bachrim because they are the future. And we're in a generation where our future is so important. And if you don't give the time to the kids and the Bachrim, they feel left out and they feel terrible about themselves. So I make it a real emphasis to give Bachrim when I see them at a wedding, give them a hug, take a selfie with them, make them feel special instead of being a Baal Bas, like, oh, I'm too, I can't talk to the younger generation. I like try to bring them.
Bachrim is base medrash age? I'm sorry. It's just...
Bachrim could be anywhere between
Teenage-
9th grade and
teenage
BMG.
boys.
But by
Just
the
so
way-
for those non-Jews listening,
Yeah.
Bachrim is teenage
boys.
But
that are
I'll tell you
studying and learning Torah.
Shimi is also very, very approachable. You know, he's something that people feel comfortable to go to. I'll tell you just personally, my son told me that he had a business idea and he called up Shimi or texted, I speak to you right away. Shimi said, oh, is this like an ask for charity? 'Cause I guess you get a
How
lot-
old was he? It's-
No, it was a year ago.
How old's your kid? I'm
months
saying.
ago.
How old's your
Months
kid?
He's 24 years old.
Oh, okay.
So he said, no, it's not. Because, wow, you're probably the first person who's like asking to speak to me, and it's not for a charity cause. And it was a business thing, and I don't know what it even was. I don't know the
It was like a real
specifics.
estate idea.
Yeah, but the point, though, is
Yeah,
that
they wanted to bring to the healthcare space.
the point, though, is that Shimi takes these calls from these people. So, he was joking, what is it? Because he assumes most of them are for charity or a CM or something.
Yeah.
But he's approachable.
Yeah.
Like my son was comfortable to call him because he's someone who's not going to hang up on you. He's not going to make you feel stupid that you called him. He's going to give you the time of day, and he's very, very approachable. And
What's
he's
your
always
cell
been
phone
this way.
number? I'm sorry, say it again.
732, none of your business. Had to get it in.
By the way, you only get one an episode, so you're
of
done.
course. By the
So
way,
you're done.
It's like when
He's
you
very
say, that's what
approachable,
she
though.
said.
Yeah, you're done. You're done. Now, the fact that you're approachable, and thank you for saying that story because it literally triggered me a memory of us being younger. We're similar age, and when we grew up as Bachrim, teenagers, right? I think that what I remember is the people that didn't behave got all the attention. And, it was a transition. I didn't have that, but I saw that the next generation had that. And I think that now the ones that are behaving are getting attention from someone like you. It's a really nice thing. Right. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Yes.
Like you're giving positive attention to the ones that are doing well, the ones that are behaving. Of course, now, by the way, thank you Tzvi Gluck, thank you Sani Perlman, thank you Gedalia Fenster, and everyone for what you're doing and carrying that weight. But there's so much weight that's there for regular boys, even girls, obviously, that just need a place to chill.
100%.
Need
Need
be
a place to
uplifted.
chill, need a hug, obviously in the most appropriate ways.
Most people get a random text and ignore it. Shimi gets a random text and turns it into 100% kumsitz. I don't know where this is taking it from, but
He's not writing this himself.
Yeah.
This has come from ChatGPT.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is ChatGPT. I just put this in ChatGPT 17 minutes ago.
That's crazy.
What's the story with kumsitzes? Like Yissi and I are both obviously kumsitz fans. I guess that means you are also. Do you do large ones? You sponsor large ones? What's the deal?
So I think it's coming from Pesach this past year. I was in Orlando, and we had just wanted to hang out with the guys.
You built your own program.
I basically built my own program, but it was like the music part and the kumsitz part was by mistake. Like I didn't invite anyone. I invited a few friends, and then one guy, Bacher, came, or teenager kid came, and he invited his friends. And by the fourth night, we had like 200 people rocking. And I can send you footage that you could like upload.
Please.
Is it fair to say that was like your coming out party to like the next
Pesach?
level?
To the next level? Could be, but I think could be.
In other words, that
It's my birthday.
No, well, I know you told me actually. I know you for years. I know you different stages of your life. The Kaplan boy.
How back are we going, by the way?
Not from when he was a kid. Not when he was a kid. He was in Lakewood. I was in
When he was a
little
bacher.
older, but he was a bacher. Then he got married.
By the way, look at that.
We both were married to Cleveland girl. Both Cleveland.
Yeah.
Right. He married someone from Cleveland, his first wife, and my wife's from Cleveland. I knew who he was then. He started to get involved in shidduchim. I knew then who my wife is involved in shidduchim.
Right.
And then I really got to know him when I was involved with Gateways at that point. I don't know if I think I was still working there. and you used to come for Yontif, and you used to
Rosh Hashanah,
Shavuos.
Yeah.
At that point, I don't think you were sitting at my table yet, but I think after, when I would come back already when I was on his board, then you start to sit at my table.
All the time.
Different bottle every time of tequila. You introduced me to that tequila with the silver. That's right. But to me, it was always, I know he was always a great guy, and I always thought of you as successful. And it was only recently that I was sitting with you by a wedding, and you told me, no, that was the fake it till you make it days. Then there was something, there was a transition. I got into other things, and I'm here. So that's my question. If like your real coming out party to the world was, because I saw the clips on Pesach, I saw them. They were all over the place. And they looked great. But I always thought that you were doing these things because you're always flying together. You're always courtside.
Right.
You're always courtside at the Knicks games. This wasn't your first time flying private, probably. You flew private before that.
Yeah.
No, probably.
Yes.
So, but this was the first time that I actually saw that it was out there, like that.
Right.
And I knew a lot of the cast that you had there, and a lot of the cast had been in my house, and they're not guys who are paying their way. So no, good guys. But
I like this, by the way. Yissi's paying attention, you're saying.
So
he's been paying attention to your life.
I watched.
It's a compliment.
No, but I didn't know. But you should know, it's not like I thought anything changed. I thought this is how you always to me. That's all you always
It
were.
happens to be it was. I think the generation is just getting more WhatsApp and people are posting more. It just was less. It was less out there.
Right.
But I don't think that was the first time that I've done such things. I think
Really?
Yeah. I think it just got more out there.
Right, so it was very out there, and I also saw the cast of characters there who I know that they were just probably looking for a great chill that doesn't cost them.
It was an open house policy.
And then I was thinking, how do I get on this list?
I'd like to go back on what he said a minute ago, the whole fake it till you make it thing.
Yeah.
Was that part of your life?
I think it was a subconscious thing. I don't know if I had a plan, like let's fake it. Like the whole Censible Marketing of, I'm a marketing company. That's how I started. My first company was Censible Marketing, and marketing is about, portraying an image. Now, obviously, sometimes you have to embellish or be more out there, sponsor things, even if you have to take out a loan. But you still that's part of growth, part of growing a business. And I think I did a lot of out there things before I was able to afford it. But then after doing it consistently for so long, it ended up working out. And
It sounds more like you manifested
it, and really like the right opportunity started coming when the platform was built.
Would you say that the opportunities came because you had this marketing company?
100%, 1,000,000%. I don't think that I would be able to sit here. Again, it's all from Hashem, but I think the Hashtadlis part was having the platform of Censible Marketing.
So people knew who you were.
The opportunities were able to come, and also doing the sponsorships. A lot of people want to be connected to positive things. When you sponsor a song from Matt Dubb, I sponsored his song. People say, "Oh, this guy's doing good." I sponsored a CM that's doing good. Again, was I faking it? I really wanted to do it, but doing the good came back 10 or 100,000.
I'm shocked, by the way. I never heard in my life, and I'm proud of you, of someone who takes a loan to sponsor something, which means it's so meaningful.
I don't know if I took a loan to sponsor or something, but
okay.
I took a loan to hire people.
It's not a crazy idea, though.
Right, but I took a loan to grow my business.
You built a brand.
And 100%.
Sure.
And I will say it till today. People out there, be responsible if you take
camera's right there.
Be responsible if you're taking a loan. But if you have the right cheshbon and the right idea, don't be scared. Just make sure you pay it back.
So everybody knows about Censible Marketing. That's
No,
great,
actually, that's the next thing on ChatGPT. His business is called Censible because apparently ridiculously successful and still a tzaddik was taken.
This is from ChatGPT.
Tell me about Censible. When did you start? What is Censible? Let's go back a little bit. Let's learn a little bit about you and take a pause on this ChatGPT. There's a lot of exciting things there. Like,
you guys wrote this out. This is not ChatGPT.
You can check it after on his phone.
It's unbelievable.
I love it.
It's unbelievable.
I'm going to ChatGPT it after just this.
Obviously, just for those who are wondering, because I've gotten this question a few times, I've told ChatGPT, make it punchy, make it interesting, smart, and funny.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Okay.
And I rely on it, and I read it out right as a
great.
printed. Yeah,
Great.
so it's just...
So Censible Marketing was an idea. I was started off at a company called Ditmas Park Rehab.
Oh, I know Ditmas
You know
Park.
Ditmas Park?
The Strikers? Oberlanders. Oberlanders.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I have to go back. I started off first with Kenny Rosenberg and Moshe Edelman back in Amazing Home Care. That's when I got into health.
I asked Kenny to come on the podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
And he says to me, what's a podcast? I'm like,
What
you're
were you doing
kidding.
before?
We'll do it,
healthcare.
if you do it on Halal, maybe he would come
I
on.
wish.
I hosted you for a Shavuos, and at that point you weren't in healthcare. In fact, I was in foreclosures then, and we were talking about maybe in Texas to do something together in foreclosures. At that point, you weren't doing healthcare yet.
So I started off selling baby strollers, pedicures.
There we go. Is this real?
I swear.
Yeah.
Oh.
When I left yeshiva, I started off doing
The first job.
first job, Chesky Stanger saw me in Starbucks and he said to me, "Do you want to come work for me doing short sales?" This is like in 2011, maybe 12. And I went and banged down on the phone, calling people in pre-foreclosure and got like 100 listings. We sold a bunch of houses.
How many calls a day?
50, 60 calls a day with Nexus, Lexus, whatever it's called. Nexus, you get the
Lexus,
numbers,
Nexus,
whatever that
yeah.
called. We would call people.
By the way,
get the
dangerous.
cell phone. Very dangerous.
Nobody should get a hold of that. I mean, like, it's a payable thing that attorneys use.
Yes.
That tells you your neighbors how much their income is. And
Really?
Yeah, it's
My days
it's
was
crazy
just the cell
information.
phone number and their house number.
Yeah, no.
And maybe how much in debt
Yeah,
they
no,
are.
there were systems back then that would tell you, and I'm sure it still existed. I've seen with my own eyes. You put in an address, and it tells you all your neighbors, social security numbers, date of births, children, annual income, crazy stuff.
crazy.
This is 20 years ago. But anyways, go ahead.
I started off at Westmark Realty. I did that for a year or two. And then
How much did you make
getting
then?
a draw, $500. A draw a week, $500 a week, a draw. And
You were married at the time.
no, single.
Okay.
It was separate.
No, it's his first job.
First job out of Kailo. I think I was learning half the day.
I'm sorry,
so
we'll get back to it later, but your lifestyle is yeshivish? That's how you grew up?
I grew up Yeshivish, Lakewood, yes.
Okay.
$500 a week. The problem was that when I closed the deal, I had to go towards the draw. So I felt like I was never making money because I was just basically always paying back the draw. So that's when I said I wanted a 9-to-5 job. I went to work at this place called Pedishore, doing cold calling every veterinarian in the country. Do you want to buy pet insurance? And after 7 days, I was ready to jump off a roof. So I said, I'm out. I'm not going to be here. And I went to work for a guy named Bernard Warman at a place called Pish Posh Baby. And I was selling strollers, baby strollers.
Retail in a store?
We were online, so we
Oh.
started off.
I was
the first
imagining
online-
pregnant women coming in and talking to you.
No, first it was like the first online. It was like we did a lot of
Like Amazon type of stuff.
No, it was direct from Pish Posh Baby, but we would like get all the mommy.
So they were an established company, and you were
They were
coming in and
established
helping them with
company,
sales.
and I was there doing
Got it.
sales
Keep
and-
going.
and product development.
Okay.
And in 6 months, I was there having a great time,
Beautiful.
working hard, making like
Salary
36
of-
grand a year.
Thank you.
Felt like I was a
I love how you're reading my mind, by the way. You're answering the question as I'm asking it. It's great. It's great synergy.
30. That's Michael. That's why you are good at what you do.
Thank you.
Because you're doing this enough times. You already know your people.
I've been doing this for 47 years,
Yes.
literally.
47.
Yeah,
Very good.
just without lights and cameras. Baruch Hashem.
Hashem.
Continue.
And you lost a lot of weight. By the way,
Thank God, thank God. When I hit 301,
that's when you went.
that's when I put the balls behind my ears, but that's a separate story.
Oh, the balls
Continue.
behind the ears. I
Yes,
remember
yes.
that.
I've been
I
rubbing
heard
my
that
balls for 6 months straight, and it helped me lose 62 pounds. And then I lost my gallbladder, but literally, it's another story.
Thank you for that because I own that company.
Get out
I promise. I'm partners with
What,
Steve Forrest.
Satkin?
Yeah.
You see, I
Yissi's a partner with
Yissi, by the way,
everybody.
Yissi's right. We got to have him back on the podcast.
back on.
Yissi,
Only
agree.
if Shimi's a co-host.
I'll co-host with you, by the way. No problem.
Okay.
Done.
Committed?
Committed.
Done.
Done.
Great.
Done. Much
You
enough,
see,
so.
the rest
No, I want the Thursday night
You
one.
want the Thursday night one?
we'll do a comes this and then followed by a podcast.
With a CM.
With this.
I think the amazing part of the three of us just sitting here is that we all know that in exactly 1 hour we're getting up and we're going to have a kumsitz all night and celebrating Shabbos V'Varchim,
Shabbos
Malava
V'Varchim,
Malka,
Malka,
Leila Nishmas,
your
my
mother.
mother, my father. It's her birthday.
And on her birthday.
Right.
It's
Wow.
Chaya Sarah, that was her name. But anyways,
Wow,
continue.
beautiful. So basically, Pish Posh Baby was great. I was dating a girl at the time, and she said to me, "You have more potential than sitting behind a desk selling baby strollers. Maybe you should go meet with Moshe Edelman, my brother-in-law, and get an interview." Hired me on the spot. 6 months doing home care sales. I went for a raise. I was making 40 grand. Went from 36 grand to 40 grand, and I was a real Gavir. I got an Avalon, and
Love the Avalon.
Paid by the company?
no,
Paid by you.
Yeah.
That's the cheap Lexus,
And-
by the way.
Yeah. They tell me no raise. I said, "What do you mean? I just wanted a couple, extra."
But you do
grand."
well?
I was doing very well. I should have gotten a raise. They didn't want to give me a raise. And then Abe Krause and Ellie Frankel hired me at Newark Extended Care.
No way.
Yes.
Avrami and Ellie.
Rami and Ellie.
Amazing.
That was their first thing. And I had no idea how to market a nursing home. No idea.
Hold on a second. That's where we probably first met. I did all the purchasing with
You
them.
did?
For when the
did.
Paneths were there, I
Paneths
did
were
it.
there. They
And then
came
when they
in,
sold it
took
to them,
over.
I took over. And that's when I got to meet those two amazing people, by the way.
Yes.
Love them each.
Great guys.
Wow.
And a funny story, and I say this over a lot. I was working there. They gave me even more. I got 80 grand salary. And 6 months in, I got the census up 10%. I learned the business on the fly. I had no idea what I was doing, but I Googled what's short-term care, long-term care, what's a referral. And then Abe, and he takes credit till today, he called me up. He said, "Shimi, are you in the hospital?" I said, "I'm on the way to the hospital." He saw me in the pizza shop eating lunch, and I was leaving to go to the hospital. He said, "You're fired." And he fired me. And then from that, I went on to Dimas Park.
Did I miss something? What's the hospital?
No. What happened
rounding.
was
He wanted to know if I was rounding in the hospital.
Oh, I'm like, what? Did something happen to you?
Lunch.
Okay,
No,
okay.
I was
okay.
getting lunch, but he
Oh.
felt that I wasn't in the hospital.
he thought he was lying to him.
He thought I wasn't being truthful, and I was in the. I said I'm on the way to the hospital. I was middle of eating lunch. I was on the way. Fired me. Till today, he takes credit. He said, if I didn't fire you, you'd still be at the Newark Extended Care making $80,000 a year.
That's great.
I've
Probably-
heard
Takes credit.
I've heard you in the past say this story, but you've said it better. See, now you said you were actually on the way to the hospital. In the other ones,
No,
you
he
said-
didn't. He said
No,
I was
in
eating.
the pizza shop.
No, so you were
I was
getting
on the
ready to
way.
go.
I was getting ready to go.
The way I've heard you say in the past,
Yeah.
you're saying that, look, I actually was, I was taking it easy and I was doing it, and he caught me, but what you were saying, and the point was that you never know what you think is the worst thing in the world.
Right.
Can you imagine him after, he was caught in a lie. Right, we've all done this, right? Where are you at different levels of your life? You have a boss, and
By the way, in his mind, it's not a lie. I have friends that tell me
I
this all the
didn't
time.
think it was a lie.
I'm on the way to the hospital. I'm eating, but I'm on the way.
Yeah,
I'm saying
Yeah.
me, like
I was on there. I
I've
was
done this
top lunch.
myself, and I would think I'm lying. But why? Because I have my own cheshbonis.
Right.
You don't pay me by the hour. You pay me to get the job done. I have a full day in. I'm taking my time eating lunch, and I don't need you to micromanage me. And you're asking me questions. So yeah, I'm working, right? And happens to be he caught him and he caught him not. But what he thought probably at that point was like the worst moment of his
It was
life.
the worst moment of
That
my
I
life.
just went from strollers at 36,000. I worked my way up to 80,000,
and now I have no job.
And now it's all
How
gone.
am I paying the Avalon bill?
Right, it's all gone.
Wow.
That was your biggest. That really was your biggest
really,
blessing.
It was really rough, but it was the biggest blessing because that Nathan Freund
Whoa.
took me to.
Tell me what happened.
Nothing. He fired me.
What'd you
He gave
do?
me 6 weeks.
No,
to
what'd
work.
you do? What'd you do?
He lied.
I get it. What did you do after he fired you? How'd you find another job? You
I
just
went.
started
I'll
it.
tell you. So
Yeah.
Nathan Freund called me up. My uncle Yissi Bernfeld.
You're not understanding what I'm asking. You get fired, and you're sitting there in the middle of your lunch, and you're eating. What did you do?
Oh, right after that.
What? How was your life like? You just got fired, bro.
I probably went home and cried a little bit. Maybe laid on the couch. I don't know. It was a rough time.
I'd like to talk about it.
Okay.
I want to hear.
don't remember the exact details.
It
I
happens.
did.
People get fired, and it happens. And I'm saying the way you recover is everything.
Right.
So that's what I want to. I'm just
one thing I
curious.
got to say, they gave me 6 weeks pay.
Okay.
I knew I had 6 weeks to deal with it.
Got it.
So I wasn't, but I remember going home and being very sad. Talked to my father about it, and right away I went into mode. Let's go. What's the next thing? So
You reached out to Nathan Freud.
My uncle told me Nathan Freund is looking for a marketer. He went and
Good for you, by the way. It took you minutes. You cried, and then you got back on the horse,
back on
and
the horse.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yes,
wanted
yes,
to hear.
yes,
That's what I
yes.
was curious
We didn't
about.
get into a hole.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, but when I got divorced, I was also very, very down.
I don't even know that you were divorced, and I'd love to get into that. So
Okay,
we'll talk
we'll get
about.
back
Let's
to
go
that.
back. No, we're going to go through the timeline.
We'll go through the
Continue.
timeline.
Yeah,
This is after my divorce.
that's already after you.
This is all after my divorce. We skipped my
He
divorce.
was learning. He was still learning while he was married.
Okay, I didn't realize. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were in Koil?
I was in Koil for
course.
4 years. I learned by Simcha Maimon.
yeah, this
I
was
learned.
real.
How did you skip that? Where in Pish Posh? Where was this?
This
This
Chemia
is
Kaplan,
before.
and
I
then-
learned in Long Beach. I learned.
Oh, after Koil, your first job was a 30,000. I thought you were a bacher to working.
No. Koil.
He was a shadchan. He was
Guys, I'm not a Lakewood guy. I honestly, one of the main reasons why I appreciate that you're here is people don't really know this, but they'll realize it subconsciously. Once a month, I have a healthcare guest. It's just automatic. And because we put it in our newsletter and we want the newsletter to be healthcare related. The other 3 weeks are playful. Like I can get whoever I want, someone in my space, my energy. It could be a baseball player. It could be a therapist. It could be a, tzedakah collector for all I care. Someone who's interesting. I've never had Lakewood. And I've been thinking about Lakewood for a long time. I don't know Lakewood. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm not from there. I grew up in Brooklyn. I'm Israeli, half Israeli. I live in Monsey. So I don't get Lakewood. So I always wanted you to be here. So to me, this is like a grand slam because I got you here.
Healthcare.
You're healthcare. You're Lakewood. You're friends with me and Yissi.
And it's the fun. Also, the rest of the 3 weeks.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just want you to know. So I don't really know. So I really just want to get back to that for 10 seconds. Just tell me, who are you? You were in Kolo, okay?
So it's the 30-second
Yeah, please.
elevator pitch.
Yeah, but just get back to where we were. But go ahead.
Jacobovits was born in Lakewood, went to Long Beach Yeshiva, went to Chemia Kaplan.
These are good
got
yeshivas,
married,
like elite
went to
yeshivas.
Simcha Maimon's
We'll
Koil.
get back to it later, but continue.
Yeah, went to Simcha Maimon's Koil, came back to BMG, learned to BMG, was a shotgun for 18 months, made 36 shidduchim, got divorced, went to Pish Posh Baby.
Beautiful. Thank you. No, I really appreciate that. We'll get back to it later. So continue now.
So that's the
Nathan Freund.
Nathan Freund gave me a great opportunity. He gave me a signing bonus. He really taught me the ropes on the
Another
quality
super
pyramid.
duper guy, by the way. I'm
Great
sorry.
guy, Nathan. Shout out to Nathan Freund. You're the best. Thank you for everything.
Really.
So he really taught me the business. We went to the hospitals together, and we became like this team. We turned Dittmas Park from a,
Oh, he was the
profitable home. He was
administrator,
the administrator,
of
and I
Dittmas
was the
Park.
marketer. Yeah, so we
Oh
were
my
the yin and
goodness,
the
guys! For
yang.
those of you that don't know the nursing home industry, you have to understand this is a young administrator working for a Hasidic family in Borough Park who own one nursing home. It's their prized possession, and they've had that facility for 100 years, probably passed down generation.
was promised 3,000 years
And
ago.
Nathan Freund was yet another administrator.
Yes.
This facility went through administrators every 2 years. So Nathan Freund comes in, he's another administrator, and he hires you for marketing.
Yes.
Suddenly the dream team is being created
Yes.
in Borough Park.
in Borough Park,
Unbelievable.
on Dittmas Park.
Continue.
Yeah, so we crushed it. We did like a year and a half, 2 years together.
How much money did you make for them?
Well, a lot.
I want to know numbers.
We went from I don't know the exact numbers.
Tell me how many Medicare patients you
We
brought
went
them.
from 20 Medicares when we came in with like 30 open beds to 80 Medicares with a waiting list.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you do the numbers.
No. Do the numbers, please. I want
I
you to
don't
do
know-
them.
I don't know the
Well, you know Medicare. How much Medicare? I'll tell you.
I know how to fill beds and service the
No, stop it. You must know that Medicare is 3 times as much as Medicaid, right? You know
Yes.
that.
Yes.
So
You
for
want me-
every
you want me-
Medicare,
you want me to do that?
No, but for every
gotta
Medicare
be
patients that you get
600
versus
per day.
Medicaid, there's an extra $200-300 of profit, right?
Right.
Meaning you reimburse more, but it costs you more, of course,
Right.
obviously, also. So 40 patients per month. How much money were you
Probably
making?
an extra $8 million a year.
What were they paying you?
I was getting paid.
I love how you swallowed that so fast. $8 million a year.
Yeah.
You're 2 people,
Yeah.
an administrator and a marketing director.
Yes.
Busting your chops to fill up a facility, bringing the owners and operators $8 million a year.
So, but that's
it's
why so
amazing.
important. That's why it's so important to know what he made, because this is we're not.
No, but he was
They
doing
paid
his
me- they paid me
job.
very well. They paid
We're
me
not
very well.
interviewing Dittmas Park now.
No, that's not the point.
He did everything.
They paid
he
me
did
very well. They
everything.
paid me
right?
very
He-
well. I was
he
making-
made them make a lot of money.
Not necessarily. Of course not. You have the clinical team, you have the department heads, you have the
Yeah,
first
not a
service.
big
rep.
profit.
They had
That's
to
probably
invest
the most
that.
revenue.
Of course, I'm
New
just saying,
rebuilding, new building.
guys, obviously they didn't net profit $8 million a year.
not.
For those of you listening who
coffee
thought
room.
that, for those,
How much money did he make?
by the way, for those of you listening who are thinking that or thought that, please go follow another podcast. This is not about money or being Jewish or in the nursing homes. This is just the concept that as an employee, a young employee, 2 young superstars turn around a nursing home, making it not only profitable but extremely profitable.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes, very
and I want to know how much you got recognized for it. I want to know about that journey. It's very
They
important.
gave me bonuses. I got crazy bonuses.
So you went from 80 grand suddenly a year or two making how much a year?
I was making well into the 200s, probably 250. They were taking very good care of me. I get paid for my car, paid for everything. They were. I got to say, and shout out to Mendel Rautenberg, who was the administrator after Nathan Freund left, and I stayed on. So I stayed on way longer. Nathan Freund went on to work for some other people to start his own thing. I stayed there till probably 2019. And in the midst of being there, I started Censible Marketing because I realized if I could fill up one home and make 200 something grand, imagine I filled up 10 homes, I can make $2 million.
When you started
That's
Sensible
the
Marketing,
concept of Censible started, where I could fill up a home, let me train young guys and girls, and they should work under me, filling up Four Seasons, filling up CFW Group, filling up this home. And that's when I went on and thank you to Shmuley Sherman, who gave me an opportunity at Four Seasons. Thank you to Ellie Goldbaum and the Deutsch family, gave me an opportunity in Queens. And that's when I started off really hiring people. I started with Ron Kreisel, who's my partner now, and I hired a guy, Jeremy Friedman, who's my CEO now. I hired a bunch of great guys, Steve Solomon and Aaron Donner, and the list goes on. And they really were extension of me. So there was a bunch of shimmies running around filling up homes, and I would charge them, let's say, 150 grand a year. I would pay my guy 60 grand, 70 grand, and keep the rest. So that was the concept. And then as they grew with me, they took on more homes, they got paid more, we charged a little more, and that's how the Censible started.
you trained all these guys.
Trained every single one myself.
At what point did you leave Dittmas Park and just
So
start
in
focusing on
2019 or
Sensible?
20, right by COVID, Dittmas Park called me in and they said, okay, it's the time's been up. Let's be a consultant. You consult for us. We consulted for them under Censible they took my salary away and they kept me on for I think another year. And then at the end during COVID, I think we went our separate ways, but we still keep in touch. But that's when I really had enough coming in that I covered myself. Didn't need that salary, but it was a risk to jump in. Starting your own company is not an easy thing.
Right.
I'm sure you know that, Michael, and yes, you guys know.
This is not about me.
But I'm just saying it's not easy.
100%.
Not easy.
Yep.
That risk, jumping in, have to make payroll, have to pay everybody.
I'd like to hear about it. I want to know how that beginning was. You're making 200 grand a year. There's a lot of people that are listening to this that think like this. I'm making 200 grand a year. I might as well start my own business. So when did it hit you, and how did you behave and react to the, needing to make payroll and suddenly getting tax bills and suddenly having licensing issues and territory issues and people getting upset and facilities not happy? Tell me about that journey.
It was definitely a humble beginning because having to take all the money coming in and you give it out to your people, and you're left with a little something. That's when loans start coming to play. In order to hire more people, you have to have more money, more cash flow. Some people didn't pay on time, so it was a very humble beginning. And definitely, I got to give Abe Cohn a shout out. He came on, really helped us grow a certain division called CBC, and then we have a division called Admissions Pro. But Baruch Hashem, things really took off, and we're one of the, I think, leading companies in admissions and marketing in healthcare.
That's cute. You're not the leading company. You're literally the only company.
We're
that
the
does
only
it right.
company.
I mean, literally. I mean, there's no. I mean,
People tried. A lot of people
tried because this is my point. People try to do something that they're good at and creating a business out of it. It's in a way, it's great to take a risk and do well, but in a way, it's very dangerous because you were making $200,000 a year and suddenly you're starting over a business. Then you're borrowing money you can't pay back, and before you know it, God forbid, things can happen. So, So having a partner, hiring the right people, training them, it's all great. But that's the part that interests me in terms of your.
One of the things that Shimi did really, really well. I mean, obviously he was marketing for homes, for nursing homes, but he also marketed his company and himself very well.
Yes.
His merch was always great.
Yes,
he had
good
great
times.
merch. Right, that's how I want to get into.
What's the tip then you give for a business? Like, tell me about that process. Like, you don't have a lot of money, you want to grow your business, you just started.
I think the key to being successful as a small business is to brand something you're good at and have a good tagline that gets everyone excited. So good times is such an easy word, but it really became our identity. Good times. People would take pictures. They're flying into some, Toronto or something.
I used to take videos. I used to wear your merch. I would take videos of me. I used to scream it out everywhere. I don't know if you remember.
We went through our tkufa. We went through our time where we were screaming Censible. It was a great time. Now we whisper it.
Now people are screaming Shimi J.
But there was a good times production. There was good times as a separate division.
Yes.
It was. What was that?
So basically, I realized that if you could get people, even if it's not in healthcare, to recognize your brand, then it trickles down to the healthcare guys, and it trickles down to everyone, and that goes back to what we were saying earlier. If you have a positive brand and you're doing good things for the world, people want to work with you. People want to work with someone who has a heart, someone who's a mensch, someone who's a good person. People want to work. There's a trust factor. There's the good energy. There's vibes, and that's where you could bring everyone together and crush it and have so much success. That's the number one key to success, is doing good and presenting in a very good, trustworthy manner.
And your merch was very cool.
And
it was
the merch
trendy.
was definitely trendy. And we have new stuff, by the way. I'm
still waiting for it. I'm still waiting.
Seeing the way you guys are, I should have just came in the hoodie.
By the way,
I came with a white shirt. I just spilled all over myself. So
we made a l'chaim.
Not the first time. Yes.
That's right.
We made a l'chaim, and literally the wine went everywhere.
Everywhere. So I had no choice.
And thank God we had a very comfortable Prime Source sweatshirt.
I'm very happy to wear this.
Shout out to Prime Source merch. Beautiful merch.
I agree with you, by the way, in the merch. I think every company that's trying to step up, I never heard this before, and I like it. I like what you're saying. Borrow to grow, but borrow sensibly.
Very good. I said it. You have to borrow with the husband.
No, you said it. I want to repeat it.
Sensibly.
Sensibly, yes, with a C.
Another reason why I want to repeat it is because borrowing money in general is a huge topic of mine. It's just something that I talk about a lot. And I don't get really the opportunity to lend people money anymore. And I'll tell you why. It affected my life in a negative way. And when I used to lend people money, and then they wouldn't pay back, and it would be very difficult. You heard this before, right?
I never heard it, but I can understand it.
Yeah. So you never heard of people not paying money back?
No, that I heard.
Yeah.
I'm saying you personally.
You never heard the story of me saying.
You probably did it very quietly.
So, but my point is that it affected me. So I came up with a rule, and I'm a life of rules. It's again for another podcast. The rule is I don't lend anyone money. I don't lend. You need money, I can give you. You want to borrow $5,000, right? So I'm not the only one. I saw you mouthing it. Yissi, there's a lot of us in the world that do these type of things. You want $5,000, here's 500. God bless you. People told me recently that they got insulted by that notion, and that's what happened. It woke me up. Yeah, I promise, it just happened to me. It changed me, and it changed an idea that I have in my life, and I'm going to share it with you now for a second. Is that someone said to me, he's a really good friend of mine, and he really needed to borrow the money, and but it wasn't that good friend, because everyone in my phone is my friend, but there's levels, obviously. You understand? There's there's the kumsitz, but then there's this, But the point is that he's just like, you don't understand. I really needed to borrow $5,000, and you offered me 500 is an insult to me. And I said, wow, you know what? You're right. And I apologize. And I just can't afford to lose my friendship with you. That's what, to me, lending is. It's not about I can't afford $4,500. I can't afford to lose my friendship. And you're going to feel uncomfortable. You can't pay me back. You're going to run away from me. And again, of course, I see you're agreeing with me. So we've all been there. So I was telling someone this story. And I said, I want to give the opportunity to lend money. And he said, why? And I said, I heard from somewhere recently that lending people money is a very big mitzvah. Look at this. You're wording my words. I love it. Thank you for being quiet while I'm saying it so you're not interrupting. But we're on the same page. So I'm thinking, it's just happened to me. And I'm thinking, and I tie the two together. So I went to someone else. I said, what should I do? He said, give money to a gemach. You guys know about this?
Yes.
I didn't know this, but this is great.
Give money to a gemach. And I'm ready to do it. I want to give, let's say, $5,000 just to a gemach,
and then send your friend.
And then you send there,
you need money. Just go to the gemach, because again,
you get them in.
The gemach. No, it's not
the loan with the gemach.
I'm not trying to help my friend from that point. No, I'm sorry. Let me reiterate.
Okay.
I want the mitzvah of lending money. That's it.
Okay.
Yes,
So
exactly. Nothing to do with helping friends.
You personally,
Me personally, I want the mitzvah.
Since you learned that lending is a big mitzvah, I want that mitzvah. So I'm going to give it to gemach without having the hardship of ruining my friendships.
So
you're still saying no to your friends.
Maybe.
So
Are you in?
I'm in.
You like that idea?
Love that.
Let's do it to the same gemach.
Okay, tell me which gemach.
I do
don't
a little
know.
bit differently.
You do a Lakewood gemach. I'll do a Muncie
I
gemach.
live in Manhattan.
What?
He lives in Manhattan.
I live in Manhattan.
You do?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I love it.
I really don't. I don't know you that personally.
He
For
didn't
12
say
years. ChatGPT didn't give away.
No, I didn't finish the
I won't
ChatGPT.
give my address.
Guys,
I'll tell you what I do a little bit different is that
But I'll still do like a gemach because my office is there.
I give to
You know what? I'm sorry. Do a Manhattan gemach. People in Manhattan need money, believe it or not.
By the way, we have a Tomchei Shabbos.
Do a Manhattan gemach.
No problem.
You're in?
I don't know if there's a gemach. Yeah, we have. My shul has one. Yes.
Yeah, I'll do a Muncie gemach.
Perfect.
Yissi probably owns his own gemach.
So
So you know what I
I
mean?
give to a gemach, and it happens to be that when people ask me, so I facilitate because you can't always just get into a gemach. You have to have the right story, the right situation, and the right co-signers. And I'll go and I'll tell them they have to get co-signers, but I'll also actually co-sign if they can't, which sometimes comes back to bite you as well.
I'm never.
But I just want to go back to the point.
Please.
I do lend to certain people that I know could pay back, and I know they have a way to pay back, especially if it's like in a partnership or in some type of relationship. I'll take their payroll, so I'll lend them against their payroll.
you're factoring.
So their payroll comes to me. So it's just interest-free loan.
You're factoring.
Good
Yeah.
for you that you had that opportunity. Tony.
Yeah.
I just never had that opportunity.
Yeah.
I understand. You're
Yeah.
secure. You're good.
Sure, yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
know the money's coming. I know they're right now.
No, I
cash
get
strapped.
it. I get it. Where were we before this, by the way? Do you remember?
We were.
I took us off on a. I'm sorry.
tangent?
Yeah,
We
no,
were-
we're
we
He was going through his story.
The
So he's
sensible
sensible
marketing. How
marketing.
Sensible started, and then basically the next part is after Sensible was already a platform. I guess in 2021, I got opportunity. I don't want to go into all the details of these companies because it's just rather not say who they are. But I became partners in some pretty big ancillary businesses by investing in them, starting them up, and giving them a platform. Because I knew all the players in the nursing home business, I became partners in some very, very big companies that helped me pivot to where I am today. Now I have a whole platform called One Bridge Health that we basically do every type of ancillary from clinical to non-clinical.
Why did they come to you? It wasn't for the money, right? I mean,
One guy came because of the money. He needed the money to start. He had an idea. He needed whatever the amount was. He needed the money, and I put up the money.
Okay.
Also, it's smart money because I had the relationships. So you're able to build a company much
because
faster.
you were in a bunch of nursing homes
Yes,
already, so you were right
I
in.
could start the guy off from scratch into 100 homes like that. Now we could do 500 like that. Chazdei Hashem.
And none of these were your ideas. People came with
People
an
came to me
idea.
with ideas. No,
With idea.
My idea was Sensible Marketing.
And were these guys friends of yours from before, or there's people
No,
who saw you in the business? And
One guy I was working with, I think, a little bit. Maybe he was an operator for one of the homes we were doing marketing for. But no, it was just new introductions.
And what would you say? How many? Look, again, I'm not going to ask the specifics, but how many of these did you get into?
I think I have right now 8 or 9.
And how many of these 8 or 9 are successes, and how many of them are fails?
They're all still going, so they're all successful.
Wow.
Some more than others. Some have giving off distributions every month, some every quarter.
The
some-
beauty of the position that you're in, obviously Hashem put you there, is that you were primed for this. This was made for you. This is like, I'm in the facilities, I have the funds, I have the people, I have the army, I have the structure. Let's do this.
Yes.
I get it completely, and congratulations to you. I'm very, very happy for you. It's really, it's so nice. I mean, it's like,
Thank you, Michael.
I don't want to sound like an old man, but I watched you grow. And,
Yes, you did.
And it really was.
Would you say that there's a specific, like, okay, we've seen, there's the legend scene. seats. There's the courtside seats. There's a certain type of lifestyle now. Is it one company really that facilitated? I'm not going to ask the specifics of which company, or is it a collective effort of all of the ones that you're invested in?
Yissi's can't get away from this. He really wants to know which company made you the most money and how did it happen?
How did I miss this?
What did?
I invested everything.
Oh my God, I love it that it came out. Yissi, I love you. I love that you can be transparent and we can schmooze.
It really is a combination. I really believe that. Now, there was one company that really did it. And,
taking notes.
And the best part is that I'm 100% owner of that company and I didn't have to invest anything.
Wow.
So that was...
Is that one you could talk about, or you'd rather not?
I'd rather not talk about it. It's
Well, but I'll tell you one thing that I've seen.
none of your business.
It's none of your, but you can
I
always
don't
say
wanna
that.
say it again.
You just say it. I've seen a lot of people that they make it, and and after that they forget everybody else. Shimi's still the same. I'll tell you, I didn't even know you were any different, and I saw you by that wedding. We were sitting there, and I actually saw something like that was amazing to me. And if I could say it, I'm not going to say the details of who it was or what organization.
Say it. Let's go,
But-
guys. What's with the holding back here? What's happening?
I don't know if it's
No, you can say it. This you can say.
Okay, so
You don't even know what he's going to say.
I know.
he knows what I'm going to say.
I know.
Oh yeah.
I was there.
That's why you can say it.
So
Thanks.
no, I'll tell you. So a couple years ago, we were together on Pesach, and Shimi ate by my table actually, and I was trying to help. It was at Gateway's program, and I was trying to help Rabbi Sushard. Actually, that's how I even knew that the pledge was there. I gave a significant pledge, and I was trying to help him.
How much did you give?
I think that year was 100 or 150.
Wow. Okay.
And I was trying to help him. And I was going around the room, and I was trying to help him. And I went over to Shimi, and I probably pushed him into it, but I got him for $10,000. But again, I don't, and I don't follow up. That's not my part. And I leave, and I go home, and that's it. And I don't even know if Rabbi Sushard remembered about it. But lately, Shimi was in Orlando, and also we saw the videos, and it's out there. People started to see it. So he probably, he had to make payroll, and I guess he figured he's going to start. He looks at his list, and Shimi's out there, and Shimi still has a $10,000 pledge. He's going to go after it. So he must have tried Shimi to call a few times, and I didn't even know he was trying to call him at that point. But I was sitting next to Shimi by a wedding. All of a sudden, Rabbi Sushard walks by, and he plops himself down. And I said, I wouldn't have done it this way, but he went right in. I've been trying to reach you. And Shimi's like, oh, so I saw your calls. I saw the calls. And then Shimi said, look, I know what you want. But I'll tell you the truth, that when you came over to me then, and I guess this is also my fault, because I pushed, I was friends with you and I just pushed. But, I didn't have the $10,000. But I felt like you pushed me into it, and I had to give it. And I didn't have the money to do it, and I wasn't interested. And I felt it wasn't fair that you pushed me into this.
I didn't have the heart when I pledged it.
Right.
It wasn't from the heart.
Right.
It was just I was forced into it.
Correct. It wasn't a genuine thing, because I felt like I was beat into this, and it wasn't something that and that's why
Fiery topic coming up, guys. Wow.
So Rabbi Sushard turned back, says, I was always there for you. And again, whether I was always there for you. And Shimi said, I paid my way. Says, I gave you discount. I was going back and forth. And I felt I was sitting in the middle there. It was about to get a little maybe hostile even. It was getting a little bit uncomfortable. And then Shimi says, you know what? You have your EIN number? He gives it to him. I remember he pledged $10,000. I was right there. And on the spot, he sent through his donors fund $25,000 on the spot to Rabbi Sushard. And I'll tell you what I took from it. So first of all, again, like I said before, you're approachable, and that he felt comfortable even saying, it's bothering me that most times you're trying to get money out of a guy. You're not going to sit there and say what bothers you about the guy. That he felt comfortable saying, it's bothering me that you're forgetting what he perceives, or either did or didn't do, but at least he perceives that he did for you along the way. And again, even if it wasn't, but in his mind, and I'm sure it was genuine, he really was trying to be there for you along the way. Nobody knew then that Shimi J is going to be today's Shimi J that we're dealing with today, right? But he came over and he took a risk, because right now you might be shutting it off, but Shimi didn't take it. Like, I'll tell you, I would have taken it totally the opposite way. You're attacking me, I'm out, right? But Shimi took it well. They had a disagreement of what the timeline and what the facts were. And then not only did 10,000 was the pledge. He didn't just give 10,000. I saw it on the spot. He sent $25,000.
Wow. I'm still not impressed yet, by the way. Being honest with you.
Not impressed with that?
No, not yet, because I'm missing something. Did you pledge 10 grand or did you not? Did he have a right to come to you or not?
This is a great topic. A lot of times people come and they push, and this is a pet peeve of mine. They bring you to a parlor meeting, they feed you tequila and drinks, and you're in a place where your mom is like drunk, And then they come and say, can you pledge over the next 5 years $1 million? And you're in your state of mind and you feel very pressured and you push yourself into, and you do something that you don't want to do, but you feel forced to it and you're drunk. And you wake up the next morning like, what did I do? And that's, I feel like, mamish forcing, and it's the most wrong thing you could do. And I stopped going to parlor meetings for this reason, because I had a situation and I pledged something that I was not comfortable doing, and I didn't want to do it, but they got me drunk enough that I pledged it. And from then on, I stopped pledging. I give checks. I give the full amount. I don't pledge. I give the amount. If I can't give the amount now, I'm not pledging it. Come to me over the next few years, over the next few months. I don't pledge that I can't when I can't give.
First of all, thank you for sharing that with us. That's like really like, I hope this was therapeutic.
It was very therapeutic because I've been waiting to talk about this. They don't want to listen. They just want the pledges. I'm like, I don't want to pledge.
No, because for me, I mean, I feel like I don't know what other word to use. I mean, we don't edit this, but you got charity raped, bro.
I did many times. And I had someone came out and screaming at me recently, a guy who I don't know so well, but he has my number, and he says, I don't like the way you give tzedakah. You give tzedakah ostentatiously and making a big deal about it, and you put your name on everything. And he like very fataited on me and upset at me for it. And I said, I'm sorry, you need a hug or you need money? And he said, none. I said, so what's bothering you? He goes, I just don't like the way you're teaching the younger generation about giving tzedakah. I said, I'll tell you like this, and I have it from Zalmi Sarasin showed me from halacha. If you can make a difference and help others give, you should do it b'farhesya. Now, no one knows the tzina tzedakah that I do. And I'm not trying to say that, pat myself on the back. But
Farhesya means to do it in public.
The public.
And tzedakah means
by the way, if I could say it, I don't know if it's the right way to say it, but I think you're making giving tzedakah like sexy. You're making it fun. You're making it
fun. Also, that you should. Other people who have a lot of money, they don't like sharing it. They might.
Right.
They should have that feeling. You know what? If this guy could give it, maybe he doesn't even have as much as me, I could give it too.
I'll tell you one thing though, Shimi. But Shimi does like to speak. Right, Shimi does like to speak. I heard him speak somewhere. It's funny because it was in you went to Chai Life Camp Simcha.
Yes.
And my daughter happened to be working there, and they asked me to come the next week. I was the week after. My daughter was all upset that like Shimi came with a helicopter and I came with a regular car. But what Shimi said was that I don't always speak, but if I do speak, it has to be recorded
in front of a camera.
He said it in front of the camera. Yeah. So was this always? You're always, and I see it all the time now. I see Reb Nissen Kaplan is Rosh Hashiva from Eretz Yisrael. He had a big Yarchei Kala, which is a learning program for a day. It was a meet and greet. It was business connections. And Shimi, I happened to have it was my grandson's haircut. Is upshare, and I couldn't come. But Shimi was the main speaker. Him and Yossi Kazanovsky. But was this something that was always a dream of yours, to be a speaker, to be out there?
I don't know if I have had that dream, but I always had it in me to be a good speaker and inspire people. I always wanted to be a Rebbe. If I wasn't going to go, the way I went, I would have been a Rebbe or a teacher. I like to inspire people. I feel like Hashem gave me a certain kaiches and certain ability to be able to inspire and give over. And people relate to it because it's raw, it's real, it's from the hearts. It's like, it's so real. And I love people. I genuinely love people. So for me to talk and inspire, it's like, I feel like that was my tafka in this world. And that's why I'm here. Wow. So I could get up. I got invited now to go speak at Torah Masorah on their panel. Of course, yes. I'd say yes because I know this is why I'm here.
Wow.
So I will keep on doing it.
You know what's funny? First of all, wow. I really don't know you. This is amazing. And I always loved you, which is just making this so much more enjoyable for me. It's coming one full circle from the beginning of our conversation till now. Yissi just said, you mentioned on a camera, I only say things if I'm recorded. You obviously mean it as a joke, and you obviously mean it to inspire others. Otherwise, you wouldn't be giving tzedakah b'tznua also, right? Or otherwise, you wouldn't be the person who you are. So, meaning, I think it's just awesome to see it. It's just like I'm now reminiscing of the conversation earlier. I'm just looking back at the conversation earlier. And I'm saying, when you did Censible Marketing, you went out with a bang, you put your name out there. It's all about just what people, it's not just about what they're perceiving, but it's about what they can accept and what they want to emulate and what they want to copy. And you're making such a great point. You're saying it's not just like, okay, the bachrim, and it's not just the older people, it's also the people that are wealthy.
Yes.
Get off your tuchis
and
go do something with your money.
$400 million, give some tzedakah. Don't just go and give what you're forced to. Give tzedakah, guys. Come on, you're sitting on so much money. Keep on giving.
Can I ask something about tzedakah?
Yeah.
There was
you can bring the mic back to you now.
There was
drop mic. I saw you wanted to drop it.
I wanted to drop it.
There was another thing that happened that night. that
He knows you too well, bro. It's like,
yes?
Yeah, this is
We're
fun.
at that wedding?
yeah, at that wedding.
Okay.
That there was
right.
there was a rabbi there in the crowd, and Shimi points to me. Goes, see that guy there? And I'm asking this for a specific thing because I struggle with this myself. There's a rabbi there. He says, that rabbi, see that rabbi right there? He didn't take me into yeshiva. And I know now he wants tzedakah from me. And suddenly now, he never had time of day for me before, but now he does. Why am I bringing this up? I just had this. I remember that there was one point when I had left one yeshiva and I was switching to another one. I was probably asked to leave. And I wanted to go. You know, my father was like devastated. And I wanted to go to, he said, you're going to a certain yeshiva in Muncie. And I went there and the guy didn't want to take me. And I have like 3 voicemails on my phone of this guy trying to make appointments with me for money. And in my mind, I can't get past it that, you know, there was a point in my life that I just needed acceptance. I wasn't a bad boy. I always knew how to learn. I always learned. Yes, I was a little bit wild, but I was controllable. I was able, you could have mentored me. I wasn't someone who was like, you know, out of control. And if you would have taken me in, I mean, again, I would be a different person maybe today. It would be a whole different trajectory and everything, but that's not what I needed to hear then. So why do I have to be there for you now that you need money and I'm able to write a check? So I saw you that night. Then I actually saw you talking to him. I don't know what happened at the end. But the point, though, is that now that you're in a position to do this, and I'm sure you've been smacked on the way, along the way, especially, you know, someone who you were married, divorced, and then you got remarried, and everyone has their journey. But I'm sure there are people now who are coming and hugging you, and now you're Reb Shimi to them, who at that point wouldn't have said a word to you.
Right.
So how do you deal with facing the rejection that you faced years before, and they somehow conveniently forget that they've been rejecting you, and now they're coming to you with their hand out? How do you deal with that?
Yissi, excellent question.
It's a great question, and it's something that I've been dealing with for the last probably even 10 years, more so. I remember a story that I was in a yeshiva when I got separated. I used to learn with a bacher, and when I got separated, they tell me, you're not a young man anymore, so you can't learn, and we're taking away your stipend. And I was so hurt. That really set me off, like on a very, very dark journey. More than the money. That they said, because I got separated, now I'm not able to learn with this kid. And for many years, I was very hurt. And I was at a wedding, and the guy who took that away from me was like 10 years later, comes over to me, he goes, I feel that you're still fatayed, you're still upset at me, and I feel it, even though I don't see you, but in my heart, I feel it. And I said, Reb, whatever his name is, come here. I give him a hug. I say, I'm Michael, you believe Shalom. You had to do what you had to do in the moment. I had to do what I had to do. I'm Michael, you believe Shalom. And we're moving on. Keep on doing good things. And I let it go. When you let things go, you're healing yourself so much more than holding on to something and grieving and being upset. Then you're the nebuch. When you let it go, you're a rock star. No one could mess with that. And I do this to all the Rosh Hashivas and all the Rebbeim. I'll hug them. Forgive and forget. Wow. That's how you're matzliach.
It's unbelievable hearing you say this, by the way.
It's true.
You know, one minute you're saying forgive and forget, and the second minute you're saying don't charity rape me. And it's cool because
but those are the new
reality.
guys. Those aren't the old guys.
No, it's cool. Yeah. No, but I'm saying is hearing you say it. It's pretty cool.
But I'll tell you. So Shimi's someone also who knows. I mean, I've seen him show, let's say, Hakar Satayv, and I'll give you a specific, which is appreciation. I'll give you a specific example. He probably doesn't even know that I watched this happen. I saw it firsthand. So. Again, we know Shimi was married before, and he has 2 beautiful kids who are rock stars.
I don't know this. We're not finishing this podcast until we get to your history. Go ahead.
So their kids are rock
Personal
stars.
history.
Really good kids. And I was by a program with him, and it was a Shavuos program, and it was the Nate's Minyan, the early Minyan, right? You learn the whole night, and 4:30 in the morning you start Chakras.
And then they start reading a Megillah something.
Russ.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
They hit you with everything that night, right? But they also do is another thing, they sell the aliyahs. And Shimi went and he started to bid for an aliyah for somebody who was there. And I'll say who it was after.
How do you remember this?
Because I don't forget a thing.
Oh my God.
And
wow.
he started to bid, and people are bidding against it, and he buys the aliyah. And again, this is Shimi I don't even know if you were Censible Marketing at that point. Maybe you were just starting then, but it was definitely not like, it wasn't even the fake it till you make it days.
It was pre.
Pre-fake it till you make it. And he bought, and I said, why? I mean, again, the guy was one of the speakers there.
Just say who it was. It was
Pesach Kron. Rabbi Pesach Kron. But why buy him an aliyah? He goes, I want to tell you why. And this is also just to show how special
Pesach
people are.
Kron. Yeah.
Right? He says, I don't know how he got involved with Shimi's kids, Shimi's family, but he saw these two boys. At that point, Shimi was divorced.
Boy and a girl, boy and a
It's
girl.
A boy and a girl, and he was divorced. And I guess Shimi you had your own journey at that point. I don't know if he thought that
I was living in New York, and he was living. My kids lived in Cleveland.
Right, so New York and Cleveland, and he said, I want to do something for these kids. And he travels all around the world to speak, and every time he went to speak, he would buy a shot glass from that place
For my son.
and send it to his son.
Wow.
I don't think he really knows did you know your son before?
He knew my son. He was calling. He met him, I think, at a program.
Right.
And they kept in touch. He saw it was a kid from a divorce home, and he said, "I'm gonna give this kid something special." Every time he traveled around the world, he would ship a glass, a shot glass from the airport, and would call him on Erev Shabbos, wish him good Shabbos. And
I didn't even know that part.
And I had a Karas Taif, and that's why I bought him the Aliyah.
He bought, and it goes for years going on. For years, he would always send him from and this is not like nobody knew that this is going to be Shimi J today, who's the speaker, the Askin, the Baal Tzedakah. This was just a little boy that he felt needed some chizuk, and he felt would appreciate a shot glass from different places around the world. Wow. There's special people like this. But my point wasn't about Pesach Kron should be on your podcast, and that would be his thing. but the fact that Shimi said, you know what, I want to do something for this guy. He didn't have a lot of money then. I don't know if the Leahs were very expensive. Probably $1,000 was expensive, after you just paid to come to a program. And he went and he bought the league.
Crazy that you remember this, yes.
I don't forget
You're out of
anything.
control.
That's a great story, by the way. Really, on so many levels. I appreciate what Pesach Kron was doing, which is so nice. As you get older, you want to do things for the younger generation, like you're doing right now, and what you can do to impact a child. Oh my gosh, shot glasses everywhere. How many shot glasses did
He had a lot. Then I started doing it. I'm like, I got to do it.
Who'd you do it for? Your kid?
For my son.
Oh, you're like, oh boy, thanks, guy.
Thank you for
For another kid.
That's great. That's
Guys, I recently had something that happened to me, and I need to share it with you. I got to unload it here. Okay,
ready.
You heard it here first. I started davening by Or Shlomo. A shout out to Zish Mermelstein and all the amazing people at Or Shlomo. What an incredible shul. It's the reason I wake up in the morning.
Wow.
To daven Shachris, I should say. Is Or Shlomo. Anyways, but I'm there.
Prime source. We don't wake up for you.
Anyways, so somebody asked me there. He goes, "I have a rabbi coming into Monsey, and if it's okay with you, I heard you have a nice sized dining room. Can we do it in your house, or do you know anybody that has a nice?" So I said, "You know what? Let me think with you. Because a lot of times when doing favors for people, you don't need to give them the answer. You can just help them think of the answer, right? So that's the mode I got into. Long story short, I was going to do it in my house, okay, and it was Wednesday, and we were planning on doing it the following night, Thursday night. This rabbi was coming to my house. People in the community were going to see, come for blessings and get guidance or whatever. I didn't even know really who the rabbi was. I was just giving my house. That's all it was. I get a phone call from a guy, and he says, "Hey, the rabbi's coming to your house." "Yes, he's coming to your house." "Okay, good. I need to tell you that, your house has to be ready. You can't just take a rabbi and bring him into your house. It's got to be ready. You got to have food, drinks, people. You're going to have people come." I'm like... I think that we got off on the wrong foot here. I was just giving my house. You know what I mean? You know the type. Right? You give your house and suddenly
all of a sudden your house thing comes.
Exactly, which is fine. But in this scenario, I didn't even think I was going to be home.
Right.
Anyways, that evening I get a thing from, I don't know what it was. Somebody sent me a forward. It was probably from CBN. you know the good guys at CBN, don't you?
Shout out to CBN.
Yeah. So Rabbi Yosef Pinto, or Yeshua Pinto, Yeshua Pinto, just gave a blessing to Kanye West. And it was all over, commenting, people forwarding.
Yeah.
Rabbi Pinto was meant to be in my house Thursday night.
No way.
That's
who it
Rabbi
was?
Pinto, Yoshio Pinto?
Yeah.
That's who you
That's
said
who
no
it was.
to?
And I sat down that night with my family and we talked about it. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I said, I'm going to for sure tell this person no, and I can't give my house, and I canceled it, and that's it.
Wow.
I'm curious what you guys think.
That's crazy. You canceled because of the person
Kanye
who
West?
it was?
I didn't want that kind of publicity in my
Right,
community,
that's a
in
lot
my
of
house.
that's
I didn't want
a lot
it.
of publicity.
Yeah.
Wow. By the way, it wasn't CBN. Shiva World News posted it. CBN, but Dafka didn't post it. Just FYI.
No, I think they did go on after, and they said that they knocked it. They said that
They said that we shouldn't post it.
Yeah.
He didn't post it. He's
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to them, actually. I like that.
He-
Now I see why they have their own following.
By the way, he's revolutionized. This is not, by the way, you should have Chaim on this. Chaim Nager would be. You should have him on there. But he's revolutionized these type of things because his commentary.
He has his own commentary.
so people know that CBN is Chaim Nager?
Everyone knows.
Everyone
this
knows.
time.
I didn't know.
CBN.
Again, I know him. That's why I'm asking. I
Yeah.
don't really know him well, and
He's
I
in
didn't
the
know.
Citadel right now in Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah.
and I see, and I'm going to sound like an idiot saying this, but I see it, popping up on his status all the time.
Yeah.
And I had to mute it because it's so much,
so much
whatever.
going on.
And I literally don't spend time on media or social media.
But going back to what you're saying, so you literally said no to having this, like, makubal, because you don't want to have the people looking and seeing it.
It felt
in
wrong.
hara,
It
or
felt,
you just felt
no,
wrong?
not Ayin Hara. No, it just felt wrong. I don't know.
wrong.
There's a lot of negativity coming out of it. That's really the bottom line.
That's
a lot of negativity.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a great guy. Maybe he's a makubal. Maybe he's not. I don't know. That's
No one
another
knows.
podcast.
No one knows. No one knows.
I could tell you about my history with makubals. I grew up in that environment.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk
from Israel.
chachams that were at
Yeah.
my house, miracles that people see, and real good things. But there's negativity that can come out of it also. And the second I saw that, I was out.
I think it was a smart move.
And then Stefan called me and goes, "Are you crazy? You know what kind of social media we can do with that?"
Keep it a podcast right there.
I don't even know how he found out. No, but that's
Wow.
that's
Where did he
That's
go?
crazy.
I don't know. Maybe he went to someone else's house. I don't know. Maybe he just decided Muncie's not
He's
for
still
him.
by Rabbi Sushar.
So we're gonna have to wrap up soon because
Yeah,
it's-
100%.
I don't want to finish before asking you just quickly about your personal life, but you don't have to get too deep into it. Obviously, you're divorced, so you don't. There's always people that
married.
you don't want kids listening to this later, and you have to be
100%.
sensitive.
No,
I get that.
Very
But
simple. I got married.
tell me through that process.
I got married when I was 21, 22.
Shidduch.
Shidduch date, first girl, amazing family, great people. And yeah, for unforeseeable reasons, the marriage didn't work. Got divorced.
But you had 2 kids.
Had 2 beautiful kids.
Beautiful.
And I was single for a bunch of years, went on a journey, and met my wife in New York City and settled down. And Baruch Hashem, have 2 beautiful kids, boy and girl. And I'm blessed.
You did the mitzvah twice, bro.
Peer-reviewed twice, and I had 2 Pidina Bens.
That's right. Yeah, I was by Shimi's wedding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask:
UN
first
grill.
wedding or second wedding?
First or second?
UN Grill.
UN Grill. Mo
which one was it?
Robbie was at both
both?
weddings. Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's the only one.
I didn't know you.
I want him here. Let's
By
talk
the
about
way,
that.
that's who my
Mo's-
Mo Robbie should come on the podcast.
Oh, you know that's coming.
I know. It's coming.
He has a team that does research for him, so he knows.
No,
what's
come
getting
on.
out.
Tell me you yourself watch the podcast at least. Come on.
Of course,
The
of
team.
course,
Okay.
of course.
You know,
I know what comes.
You know what
It's coming.
comes. You know what happens.
So I was. It was a beautiful wedding. It was it was in UN Grill, but yeah, I was
Very intimate. It was beautiful.
Yes, very.
Got it. So how'd you meet your second wife? By the way, I have a lot of single divorced friends. And I just want to say, forget about everything else I have to say about them. But I'd love them to hear about that journey real quick. Like you went through the journey that we're not going to discuss, obviously.
Right.
But at the end, how did you meet her?
So I think part of, accepting, and you have to bring Hashem into this because it's all from Hashem.
Yeah.
Like the Zivugim especially.
Yeah.
When it comes to marriages, it's all about, having the
I thought it was J Swipe.
the
Okay, no, I'm kidding, but I'm serious. That's what I want to hear. Like
mine got it froze.
Go ahead. Tell me the vert.
No, the Martin Saita says that it has to do with your mice and typing. Like if you're a good person, you're gonna find the right person. But that's one thing. But
Okay.
that's just a shout out to my wife. But I think just living your life and knowing that the right thing is gonna happen in the right time from Hashem, and you have that trust, that bitachon, it's gonna happen. And I know it's hard out there for the young guys and girls out there. It's hard. Shidduchim is the hardest thing, especially second time round. But if you just trust in Hashem and you just put your stylist, go to those dates, go on those dates, it's gonna happen. It happens to be my wife on a rooftop.
Were you looking to settle down and get married, or
I
you
was
met,
not.
You met Hoovy, so you.
I met her and I settled down.
Hold on.
with her.
I want to hear this. You met her at a rooftop. Go ahead.
Met her on a rooftop.
Where?
In New York City.
Keep going. You went up to her?
So
Come on. You can ask her permission. It's fine. Go ahead. I'm asking for a genuine reason. I really am. I speak to single people all the time, not joking. And we always talk about what they can do in order to get themselves to the level of, really meeting the right person. You're saying Hashem, which is great, obviously. You said be a good person, which I love, which is also should be obviously, But I'm curious, like, what do? You see a girl, you approach her? That's all I'm asking.
there was this rooftop called 60 Thompson, and I was going with a friend of mine, and he brought his friends, and my wife was one of the friends he brought, and she was from Crown Heights, Chabad girl. And for me, it was very interesting. Coming from Lakewood, we have more in common with Chabad than you would think. Like a lot of the growing up is they have a lot of, what it's sneas and a lot of things that they're very makbid on. And we connected on a lot of those stuff. And we talked about, coming from those communities, we are now. And we hit it off. At first she was making it a little hard for me. I had to chase her. I'm divorced with 2 kids. She was a single girl. She was 25. I was probably closer to in my lower 30s. And but she, eventually worked out.
Were you successful at that time, or?
So it's very interesting. I was just starting off with Censible, so I was making like whatever, let's say 250 a year, whatever the number was in that range. But she always told me, I know this guy's going places. She always believed in me that I have the potential.
Do you think that more than believing, is she a part of your success, that she's motivated you and given you
100%.
advice?
So that's actually a great question. Being married and being in a relationship, a healthy relationship, brings stability. And when you're stable and you have a good wife, Aisha Chayil behind you, you could conquer the world. That is a fact. And when I became stable, that's when the success went into overdrive.
Wow.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That really is beautiful. Shimi, what a blast. This was so much fun. I feel like I want to do this again and again
will.
and again
We
and
will.
again. So by the way, you got married, you moved to Manhattan, and this,
I was living in Manhattan when I got married.
I see.
When I
So
met
you
my
were
wife.
single,
I was
living in the
single, living in the city.
and you decided, let me just stay there. And now
Stayed
you're
there, and
right.
now we have a shul, which is
Beautiful. What part of the city? Where,
The West Side.
West Side?
Yeah, shout out to HKS, Hell's Kitchen Stiebel, Moshe Reisman, David Apsel, great crew. We have a great shul there.
I love the city,
amazing.
and many people don't agree with me on this, but the city has so many beautiful pockets of beauty, even with this mayor that's going to not last for 3-4 years.
And we should get a rental there, like for Shabbos, that we could do like a Fabring there.
Farbring, let's make it come to this.
What are you talking about? We have a guy here that's going to give us a guest house, and we'll come whenever the heck we want.
Whatever you want.
Jimmy, this was amazing. I really appreciate it. Incredible podcast.
Yeah.
It's exactly the way it started. Who would be your guest that you would
before
pick?
he says that, I just want to thank you for allowing me to co-host this. This is meaningful to me because I know
you.
Shimi for years.
Yeah, this
And-
went way better with Yissi. I love Ushi. Shout out to Ushi, but this was like different.
I know
vibe.
Shimi since,
I like the idea, by the way, getting a guest co-host that knows.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's
I'll bring in Rabbi Sushard and
I could
Yeah.
interview him too. But again, I know Shimi for years, and I've watched him. He was always a superstar, but I watched him really like that. The world sees it now, and the good that he's doing is amazing. And so I thank you for allowing me to co-host this special
I appreciate
podcast.
it. I appreciate it. It wasn't really me. I had to get Ushi's permission.
It is what it is.
No,
Thank
I'm
you,
kidding.
Ushi.
I'm kidding. But Ushi, you were missed.
Oh, this was so much fun. This
Thank
was
you.
like a
I
lot
really
of fun.
appreciate it. So who's that guy that you're going to
So
pick?
I would say Mo Robbie. Mo Robbie,
Mo
great personality, has so much to offer. He's a real rock star. The guy is just a special.
Get him
guy.
on the horn.
I love
Right
him.
now, call
That's
him.
the way we do it.
Call him now.
Yep.
Okay. What's up, Mo? I'm on a podcast. It's called the None of Your Business podcast with Michael Greenfield and Yissi Cherns.
Hi, Mo.
And on the podcast, they ask, who would you recommend as a good guest? And the first name, and it was planned, I knew it was going to be Mo Robbie, and they want to know if you could come next week.
I love it. I would love to be there. I owe you from last summer. Answer is yes, but only if you see host afterwards. Who comes it?
That's great. Let's go.
By the way, I just got to say, we're going to take over Lakewood soon. We got the best of Lakewood coming here.
It's Elba.
It's
It's very hard to follow a guy like Shimi J. Like, who wants to be the next act? It's gonna be tough.
You're going to do fine.
Here are our episodes, okay? We'll put mine up.
Okay, fine. We'll air it in a month. All right, thanks.
Okay,
Appreciate
Mo.
it, Mo.
Amazing.
Good luck.
Thank you again to the incredible team at Prime Source for such an amazing production that comes out always every week after week after week. Thanks for the people behind the scenes. When I say Prime Source, by the way, sponsored by our company, right? So, all the good people behind it, like I said earlier, it really feels like everyone's part of the podcast because without all the people here, we wouldn't have the luxury of being able to do this and spend the time in doing such quality work here. We really appreciate it. We appreciate all the listeners, the subscribers, the comments. Keep them coming. We love hearing your feedback. We appreciate it. It's a wrap. Thank you so much. Wow.
That's great.
By the way,
A lot of fun.